obviously there's the fees. Like I remember at the top of the when it's 50 odd cents, the fees were just ridiculous, extortionate. But we still had hundreds of people coming in a day wanting to stake, and they were. So once we're back at that, the fees will be a lot cheaper. People will be able to onboard other people easily through their mobile phones, etc. And then of course we've got a HEX as our store of value as opposed to Bitcoin. So all the projects that are on PulseChain, people will be taking profits and putting it into HEX and storing it and staking, earning trustless yield. So I'm looking forward to that. We've got so many projects launching. Obviously, there'll be some failures, but there'll be some real good ones. And yeah, if everyone rolls their profits into HEX, we're good to go.
Go. Yeah. What do you think, Mark?
Well, I definitely agree with everything which was just mentioned, right? But on the more like philosophical note, I would say, look, Hex grew a lot, not only in terms of price, but in terms of community and awareness over the last 3 years. And I think, on that philosophical level, we need to be on our own chain. It has to be in sort of one hands or one entity or whatever you call it, because we are still dependent on Ethereum, right? And we saw before that the fees got increased for hex staking and some other operations on Ethereum chain, I think in early 2021, if I remember correctly. Who says it's not going to happen again? Who says that something else is not going to happen? I mean, as long as it's still an ERC20 based on another blockchain over which Richard or anyone related doesn't have any control whatsoever, we are kind of at the mercy of Vitalik in a way, right? So if it all works well, then great. But if it doesn't, a year from now, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, then that's a risk. I think that's a risk for Hex, right? That's a risk for every one of us. So having PulseChain and being there, it's just, it's safer in the long term, perhaps. Maybe nothing bad will happen. Maybe Hex will do great on both chains. I don't know. No one probably knows, right? But I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to have Hex on PulseChain as an alternative to Ethereum.